everyone, I'm Fernanda, or you can just call me Chimmy. And as you can see from the title and thumbnail, I'm going to be trying out acrylic markers for the first time. The lovely people at Arrtx sent me their 60 color direct liquid ink acrylic markers for me to try out, and I was very excited about the opportunity. Right off the bat, I love the packaging they came in. The design is so cute, and the markers themselves have such an adorable design. They came in cubbies/compartments, I don't really know the right word for it, but they were also organized by colors, which I think is super helpful. Although by the end of my drawing, I completely messed up its neat organization. But at least it was helpful during the initial color selection process. But moving on to the drawing I'll be coloring though, I went ahead and did the sketch for this off camera since I wanted to really focus on the markers more than anything. Plus, I kept messing up a lot while sketching, and so this just saves time. It had been a while since I've drawn traditionally, and so I was a bit rusty, but I was able to get a sketch done, and so that's all that matters. I decided to draw ship art of my OCs Melanie and Jackson for this, you know, cause of Valentine's Day, which I thought would be a nice way to celebrate. I drew a flustered Jackson thinking about Melanie cause they're just so cute and I love them so much. But in addition to this being a Valentine's Day themed drawing, it's also my personal submission to the Drawing of the Month challenge I host on my Discord server. Basically, I set a theme each month that people can draw to, then at the end of each month, I choose a winner and make a drawing for them. This month's theme is love, and let me just say, the submissions I've received so far are freaking amazing. Like, I'm eating your guys' art. Y'all are just too talented. I obviously can't win, but I still wanted to participate because I love any excuse to draw my OCs being cute. So if any of you guys would like to participate too, the link to my Discord server will be in the description. Moving on though, like I mentioned, this is my very first time using acrylic markers, and so I was pretty nervous, but also very excited since I love the way acrylic markers look. Plus, it's been something that I've been wanting to try for a while now. I didn't test swatch every single marker that came in the pack, but I did test the ones I thought I'd be using, and honestly, the colors were so accurate to the ones I'd use when drawing them digitally. I was pleasantly shocked. You have to shake the markers before using them, and the colors were all really pigmented and so saturated they looked amazing. I was having a lot of fun coloring this, especially since it didn't feel as high pressure as something like alcohol markers. If I mess up, like use the wrong color, I can just use the correct one on top of it, and it's as if I never messed up. And let me go on a quick side tangent for a sec, but I actually had the sketch for this done for a few days now, but couldn't record because of the gloomy weather. I rely on the light from the outside during my traditional art videos, and so when it's gloomy outside, I usually don't record. But thankfully, a sunny day came, and so I was finally able to color this. Also, do y'all remember when I mentioned in my last video that it snowed where I live, which is pretty rare? Well, it continued snowing, and suddenly school was cancelled. I was happy in the beginning, of course, because I got to miss class. But eventually they moved it to online classes, which as an animation student made things really hard for me. I didn't have access to a lot of the programs we use, and so I low-key started panicking because I was starting to fall behind. I usually use the school computers to do my work, but because of the snow, I couldn't drive there, and so I emailed my professor and they just didn't answer, which made me panic even more. Thankfully though, we were given student licenses to use at home, and so that calmed my nerves. I am still a bit behind though. I just don't work well at home. I have to be in class because then I'm at least forced to do my work. Complaints aside though, I've actually really been enjoying my classes this semester. Well, some of them. My favorites have been 2D animation and 3D modeling since I'm able to use my OCs for the projects we're doing. And y'all know I love any excuse to use my OCs. And fun fact, but for my 3D modeling class, I actually created a whole new OC, like outside of the out of the norm universe. And I've been low-key kind of obsessed with her. Like, it's gotten to a point where I'm making lore for her. She has a whole storyline now. I'm adding even more characters to her story. I've got villains planned out. It's getting out of hand. But you know what? I've been having a lot of fun thinking about it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Out of the Norm still lives in my head rent-free, but it's also been nice to come up with new material to work with. This new story is based on the superhero genre, and so I've been enjoying thinking about it. You can honestly thank the shows I've been watching recently for this, cause they're the reason why I started getting the urge to create something new. I've been watching Invincible, Gachiakura, Sakamoto Days, which have given me so much inspiration to create something action-based. And it's not just me they've affected, cause I was watching these shows along with my sister, and now we're both creating new OC stories. We've been so obsessed with these shows, and so if any of you guys have any recommendations of shows similar to these, please let me know. We've been wanting something new to watch. This new story still has powers in it because I just love adding them onto my stories, but it's definitely more action-based than out of the norm since in that a majority of the story is set in high school. So this is a nice change. Also, I don't know why, but I feel like I should say this so people don't get the wrong idea, but this doesn't mean I'm dropping out of the norm. They will always be my number one, and if I were to ever make a webcomic one day, theirs would definitely be the first one I do. It's just that recently I've been thinking more about these new guys, and so if you guys would be interested, I'd definitely love to do a video on them explaining what I have for them so far. I mean, if I'm going to be spending this much time fixating on them, I might as well make a video on them. But anyways, let's go back to the drawing now. Gosh, I said this was gonna be a quick side tangent and I just went on a full yapping spree. I usually talk about the drawings I'm doing during videos, and so it's nice to just yap about things that are going on in my life, which I hope you guys enjoy hearing too. I've been told that some of you draw while watching my videos, and so hopefully this is a good one to draw too. But now back to the drawing. Since the theme of this drawing was love, I wanted to show a flustered Jackson thinking about Melanie. His crush for her is a secret, but honestly he isn't very good at hiding it since he blushes and gets nervous anytime he's around her. Because of this, Nova definitely suspects something, but he won't bring it up and is fine waiting until Jackson tells him himself. Melanie has zero idea though. At first I imagined Jackson's crush on Melanie to stay one-sided for a while, but now I imagine that in the beginning Melanie would just find Jackson cute but didn't really think she had a crush on him. And then eventually she would realize her feelings for him and also become just as nervous and flustered around him. I feel like they definitely fit the fell first, fell harder trope, and I freaking love that for them. Maybe one day I'll make an opposite version of this drawing and draw Melanie being the flustered one while thinking of Jackson. They're just so cute. Oh, I love them. If I were to do that, it'd most likely also be done using the acrylic markers because 1, I think they'd look really cute side by side, and 2, I had so much fun using these. It was sort of relaxing, and like I mentioned earlier, I didn't feel pressured to make things perfect since I just be able to fix it using those same markers. I'm no pro by all means, and the coloring style I used for this was pretty simple, but regardless, I'm really happy with how this turned out. Also, you probably noticed already, but I actually used purple to color the line art rather than black, which is what I usually would have done. I don't really have a reason for this, I just thought it would look cool, and personally, I think it looks amazing. It gives the drawing a more vibrant feel, and so I'm really glad I decided to try it out. The background is something I was struggling with though. I didn't have anything planned for it and had no ideas for it, so I just ended up sort of winging it and started coloring around the drawing. I still thought it looked kind of simple though, and so I added some sparkles and swirls, which I think was a nice finishing detail. I am so happy with the final results of this, and I'm genuinely really proud of it. As someone who's never used acrylic markers before, I'd like to think I did a pretty good job. And I actually had so much fun trying these markers out that I used them to make a Melanie button. I didn't record the process of it, but I had recently bought a button machine and thought it'd be really fun to make a button of her. She turned out so cute and the colors look amazing. You already know that I'm going to be making some of all of my OCs and use them to decorate my tote bag. Maybe one day I'll even make an eat-a bag of them. That would be so cute. And so that was my experience trying out acrylic markers for the first time. Thank you so much to Arrtx for sending me these markers. They were a lot of fun to try out, and I was pleasantly surprised by the variety of colors the pack came with. Melanie and Jackson have darker skin tones, and so these markers worked perfectly for that. If you'd also like to have these markers for yourself, you can buy them using the links in my description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, especially taking into account how much I went off topic. But either way, stay safe, and as always, I hope you have a great day.